Welcome back to the space. So today I'm going to start the process of recording this song on the Zoom. So all of you who have been waiting for a Zoom video, I've had a couple people comment and send me messages saying, hey, will you show more Zoom recording? And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start at the very beginning for what I do, and even if you don't do the same things, like I play all the instruments myself and I work the song up a certain way. You may not do everything that I do, but watching me do it may help you with the way you do it. Like you may see me do something and go, oh, that's all you have to do? Cool. So that's what I'm hoping that it'll do. Even if you don't record the way I record, different type of music, maybe you don't play the instruments, maybe you're just sampling or whatever you're doing, and that's how you're getting the sound into the Zoom. However you're getting it in, I can show you how I get my sound in, and you might be able to use it for your project. So the logic of how I usually, my workflow goes is that I write the song at home, or wherever the song starts to happen, and then I start to work up an arrangement of the song, like get to where I've got some kind of something together. So what I usually do is once I have the arrangement together, I plug directly into the Zoom, and I'll just use one of the little guitar sims that they have on here, the little modeling, different, and they have different ones you can pick, but I'll pick one and use it. And then I'll just kind of play the song along to a metronome, which is built in. So once you figure out, what tempo you want your song to be, you turn it on, get the metronome going, and then I'm going to basically just play the song all the way through. I might sing at the same time, and if I do, I'll turn on these live mics. It's just easier instead of having to set up a bunch of microphones. You can do whatever you want, but this is just a sketch so that I can play drums to it, right? So I want to make it as simple as possible for me, and it doesn't have to be recorded in any kind of special way as long as it's loud enough. And the main things that I need to play drums well is a metronome, and I need to be able to hear the arrangement well enough so that I can get through the song. And make emphasis and dramatic effect on all the changes and transitions or whatever. So what I do is I figure out how fast I want the song to be, the BPMs, beats per minute. I'll set that. And then I kind of perfect the arrangement. More than likely, I'm going to set everything up today. I won't be able to get the song done today because I'll probably go home and keep working on it. I'm not totally solid on the arrangement yet. Pretty close. But what I hate about recording songs right when you've first written them is that I found that if you play them over a long period of time, play out live or just with a band, rehearse the song before you record it, you sort of unearth all the little gems that are hiding, and you also kind of, it changes and morphs and gets better typically, like you find things to do that you didn't think of originally. So I usually like to wait a while, so I don't like rushing it too much. I want the arrangement to fall in place, and it's all the parts are there. I have 3 unique parts to the song, so I'm happy with that. And that's not always necessary, but it makes me feel like it's a complete tune because it has like a verse, a chorus, it has like a kind of middle 8 thing going on, and even like sort of a transitional pre-chorus thing that could be thought of as like a bridge. But whatever, all the elements are there. I just want to make sure that I'm getting the most out of the song by taking my time with the arrangement. Not that it's fixed for life. I re-record stuff all the time. It's fun to revisit songs and redo them. Sometimes you're frustrated by the way they were done originally, or you've just thought of new things to do that would make the song more interesting. Okay, so now I said I wasn't going to yap a lot. I'm going to just do it and show you what's up, and that way you can get to the good stuff and get on with your project without having to wait. Okay, so I plugged it in. You can also use battery power. I like using battery power, but I'm not sure how long these batteries will last, so I plugged it in. And especially since the sound doesn't matter, what's cool about the Zoom is you can run it on really clean battery power and not involve the wall. And in the world of hi-fi, that's a thing. Like, I don't think it makes a big difference, but every little bit helps, clean power. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Zoom, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it on, and the Zoom switch goes like that way, and now you're going to see it come up. It says Zoom on it, the friendly screen, hopefully, and we're going to start by creating a new project. My song is going to be called We Know Them. We Know Them is the title. So I'm just going to call it We Know, because I don't think it'll hold the whole title, but that'll be enough to let me know that that's the project. So I start by hitting the project button. I'm going to hit New, and then you'll see it come up, and it usually says PRJ 000. So once you see the name, you're going to hit Enter again, And then you just start scrolling the wheel. So I'm going to call it We Know. So I go to the W. Then I'm going to use my trackpad over here to move over to the next letter. I'm going to make that an E, and so on and so forth. K, N, O, and W. Okay, now once I have all that done, okay, so I just got that done. Now, what you want to do is after you get it named, you want to go down and hit the setting, and it says continue, right? You don't want to continue, unless you want to continue, unless you like the settings, but you're not going to, because this is a special setting we're doing that you don't typically do, unless you do. I'm going to put it on reset, all right? And so now you're going to come down to execute, because we want to make our own settings, right? And so now we're going to come down and execute. Oh, and up here you have your rates. Mine's at 44.1 kilohertz. I leave it there because you cannot use the built-in effects on the Zoom if you go up to 48. You can go to 48, but it will not allow you access to the effects while you're recording, which, you know, I find that annoying. So, and once again, this setting is CD quality, and I don't think that that's going to be the thing to get you, is doing it at CD level. It'll be poor recording and lack of know-how on some other end that will make your recording not sound great, not that it's not 24 bits. So don't worry about that. Just leave it at 44.1 if you want to use the effects. And then you come down to execute, and that's when you want to hit enter again. Good. So now we have our project. It's called We Know. I'm looking right at it. Everything looks good. So what I want to do, like I said, to get this song rolling, and this serves another purpose. Let's say you're an acoustic project and you play some light electric guitar, or maybe an acoustic guitar, or mainly it's acoustic guitar, let's say, and you have your vocal, and maybe you play harmonica or like a keyboard or a piano or an organ, who knows what else. This could all be done with the Zoom without any special mics, because you could plug your acoustic guitar if it has a pickup into it and use a model, or you could use the onboard microphones to record some room tone of you playing the guitar, you know, much like you would with a microphone. And then you can also sing into these microphones. They're placed right here. You've got one mic here, and you can split them out and pan them and do all kinds of stuff. And you could sing through that as a separate track, or sing and play, get one good level, like a 2-track tape, like they used to record back in the day, like Elvis and those kinds of people. They just go into a room and basically record it onto 2-track tape, and then print it. Boom. So you have the whole band has to be there, and the miking has to be such that Elvis is heard along with the rest of the band. It's crazy. So you could do that kind of thing too. It's 2 tracks. You can move it around the room and find the perfect little sweet spot that captures your voice and your guitar or whatever you're playing with the right kind of mix and balance. So whatever you want to do, you can multi-track it or record it live. It's up to you. So in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm taking my guitar, because I'm just recording a song sketch, right, that I can play drums to. And then once I get the drums down, I'll basically, this track will no longer be in play, and I'll be building the track with, you know, guitars and bass and vocals. I might leave it running for a little while just to make sure, like maybe during guitars, who knows, it might help. You know, maybe I'll play it along with the guitar just to help keep the guitar running and remember the arrangement, who knows. But basically it'll disappear, so the quality is not that big of a concern. Alright, so I've got my guitar, I've got my northeast cable, my favorite cables. I'm going to find the end of it here. And this is kind of important. You want to plug this in. You want to plug it into input 1. So it's going to go into input 1. And make sure it goes all the way in. If you don't get it all the way in, you won't pass signal, it'll freak you out. And it just has to be a little bit out for it not to work. These inputs, they're really cool because they hold XLRs and they hold TRS and guitar cables, but they're a little slippery on the guitar cables. They don't just wants to fall out. And it might be the kind of cable I'm using. It might not happen with another one, but I've used a couple different ones and they all do it. Okay, so I've got my high Z switch in the on position. You want to make sure you have high Z on because you're putting in something that's lower in output compared to what the input gain of the Zoom is. So that kind of lifts the signal up a little bit. I think I might be misunderstanding high Z, but it's just a level thing. Okay, so now I plugged in I'm ready to go. I'm going to arm the track by just hitting record. And it lights up. Everything's good there. And next, if you don't have to put an effect on it, you could just play it and it would sound like your guitar sounds when you're in a room without plugging it into an amplifier, which is fine. But if you want to get kind of a feel for the song, and like if you're going to use, if it's an electric guitar song, I usually pick an amp model that I can play that will give me kind of an approximation of what's going to be on the song. So I'm going to go to Effect, hit that. And I'm going to go to, let's see, the algorithm will be guitar. Let's see, and I'm an electric guitar. You could use the acoustic one too. I'm going to just go to the clean one. It's right after mastering. And the patch that I'm going to use is number 3. It's the Vox patch. It's called Vox Crunch. And it's just kind of a Vox like on the normal channel. I mean on the kind of quiet channel. Yeah, I mean, like channel number 2. The one that's quieter, like less output. Maybe there's like a 12 AU7 there instead of a 12. No, not that low. But just, you know, the lower sound, not the full cranked up Brian May version, but the kind of lower output, like cleaner version. So I'll try that one. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of there. And now I'm going to plug the guitar in. Let me get my headphones. That's important. They're right over here. My handy dandy Sennheiser HD380s. I love these. Whew, I had 280s first. They were great. And then I moved up to the 380 Pros because they sell for get them pretty cheap, you know, if you buy used ones or ones that have are open box. I think these were open box. And I think I paid like 180 for them, something like that. Or maybe less than that, like 150. But they're awesome. Okay, so I'm going to plug that in to the headphone jack. And you have your own headphone volume control too, that's right next to it. It's to the right. It's that little switch down there. And I usually have mine all the way up because the Zoom is not that powerful on output, and we'll get into that in a minute. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make a video, is to help one particular commenter with making sure that the gain stages are appropriate to get plenty of output, you know, on your finished product. Okay, so I'll put the headphones on eventually. I'll just get the guitar on. And then once you get the guitar on in your headphones, I like to run the cable behind my back so it doesn't fall onto the fretboard or cause me any kind of, you know, annoyances or ergonomic annoyances. So get yourself really comfortable, you know, get everything so that nothing stupid is going to occur while you're in the middle of a take. Okay, so now we've got it all turned away, all the way up. I can hear it passing signal. And so I'm going to want to turn it up enough to get the gain. Okay, so the other thing is, since I'm using the Zoom, I'm not going to use another tuner. I'm going to use the tuner that comes with the Zoom, and I'll tell you how to get to the tuner. The reason is the other day my snark, as soon as I built this guitar, it caused me a little bit of confusion because it literally would not tune this guitar. It would say it was in tune, but it wasn't in tune. It was really confusing. Went to this tuner here on the Zoom, got it in tune properly, and now I'm not using the snark on this guitar. I just can't read it for some reason. So I would recommend either some kind of really good tuner that you have, or just use the Zoom so you stay consistent. Every time you plug in, check your tuning. It really will make a huge difference. If you don't do that, you'll end up with an out-of-tune track that you've wasted all this effort on and you won't be able to use. Okay, so I'm going to go to the tuner, and that is inside, the tuner is inside of Tool. Okay, so now we get into here, and I'm going to hit Enter on the tuner, and then once the tuner comes up, you will see it says Chromatic Tuner. I'm going to just tune, and I'm out of tune. And remember to always tune up. You know, don't tune up and then tune down and stop. Make sure you're always on the up. So if you go over, roll it way back and then come back up again and end on the up. Just don't end on a down tune. End up as you're tuning up. Now I think it's sufficiently in tune to make this little recording. So now I'm in tune sufficiently. And then I'm going to put the headphones on and just get kind of comfortable with the levels. Good. And then once I kind of get comfortable with the levels and I think I know what I'm doing, I'm going to exit one time and you'll see tool screen again. And then you're going to want to go to metronome. And I have it on off. I'm going to put it on play and record. The level is 50. That's good. Pan, bell, all that's good. Okay, so I'll exit. And now once you exit, you need to go to tempo. I've got it on 120. Let's just see what happens with 120. So I hit play, that starts the metronome, now I begin to play along. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the tune, I'm going to work on the arrangement, make sure I've got it right, and I'm also going to make sure that my metronome, that the timing is right, the BPMs. I'm going to make sure that I might want to roll it back to like 115. It felt like they're a little rushed, although I do like 120. In fact, the first record, my debut record with Dynamite Death Chair, is called Die Some. That came out, like, I guess, about 2 years ago, and that record I recorded almost all of it at 120. Mainly because I just liked the way it felt. It just locked in there. And there's some things about 120 as a BPM. Just look it up, disco and all that stuff. I like it. So I may make the song fast enough to kind of fit that, but right now it feels like I'm behind the metronome a little bit, so I might roll it back to like 115. Maybe 118, I don't know, somewhere in that range. So anyway, I'll keep you updated on that. So what happens next is once I get this right and I have a decent recording that I can listen to in the headphones, I don't have to take it into the computer unless you wanted to for some reason, or unless I wanted to send it to someone, you know, just to show them the song, what I have so far. So I'm not going to worry about doing any computer work yet, any output. I'm just going to finish it. It'll be on a track, so I can listen to it on my headphones while I play the drums. That's the main reason I'm doing this. But this could help someone out there who records using just the modeling for the guitar and just the external mics that are built into the Zoom for vocals. If that's you, if you don't have any other microphones, this is an easy way to do it. And then at the end, when we're finished with this song, you can watch how I master and mix and output that song as well, because it'll apply the same way to any of these types of recordings that you do with the Zoom using the onboard microphones. So yeah, I've got some work to do. Hopefully this video will help, and this is just an introduction to what we're going to do. We're going to get through the entire song. I'll record the drums first. I'll show you how I mic them. There's another video where I do that, but I'm going to try to do it better this time, give you better footage, better visuals, better insert shots, and just better information than I did in that one, more to the point, just so you can grab it and go. So next I'll be recording the mics. It'll be that 4-mic method. It's like the John Bonham way. It was Glenn Johns, the engineer, that came up with this, and it's very simple. So I'll show you that, and then we'll record the drums, and I'll show you how I do that. And I use effects, and I use a preamp, and blah, 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 so we'll get all into it. All right, so thanks for watching. I hope it helped, and I'll see you next time.